I just want to say thank you very much to everyone that's come in today. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done around LGBT in general in Bradford. And I think we're a little bit far behind other cities and towns. So it's good to see that things are beginning to change for the better. Now, I mean, LGBT History Month, it's about celebrating the contributions made by the LGBT community. You know, everyone has jobs. Everyone contributes to society.
Being LGBT is never the whole person, it's a major part of your identity, but it isn't the whole person. We're all living a very similar life with the same priorities about forming relationships, being loved, loving others, making our way in the world. Lifeline are making a particular effort to be inclusive. For me, LGBT inclusion starts with the organisation, your trustees, your staff team.
My name is Asifa, Lahore. I'm known as Britain's first Muslim drag queen. I grew up in the UK. I realised very early on, obviously, that I belong to the LGBT community, and I struggled with it for countless years because of my community and faith background.
My name is Louise, I'm 47, I am a recovering alcoholic, I've got 11 years sobriety, and I do a lot of work for AA, and I come here and volunteer on a Wednesday morning. We adopted Amy when she was 7 months old, and it was a dream come true for me because I told her I couldn't have children. So when we adopted, it was just like, we've got this little baby. And it was he at the time. He was gorgeous and he settled in really well. And then when she was 3 and started nursery, the nursery teacher took me to one side and said, you know, have you noticed that Amy's quite girly? So it started there really, and it's never really changed.
Aisha Khan came 4 years ago, and my life as Aisha Khan is better than my original life. I prefer it. So Aisha Khan comes out once, twice a week.
Yeah, my name's Shaban. I'm from Bradford. I'm 32 years old. I'm gay myself, and I knew from the age of 13.
I think the LGBT community have a high percentage of substance misuse. And as an LGBT person, if you're growing up and sort of denying who you are, substance misuse, you know, and using alcohol, using drugs, is a form of escapism. It's a way of dealing with, or not dealing with, being yourself.
In my early days, I did turn to alcohol. Simple reason because there was nothing out there for the LGBT community. We didn't know where to go, who to see, who to speak to, and then this is when I turned to alcohol. But that gradually, as the months, the years went along and Aisha came out, I stopped.
I think family pressure and culturally, like if you're from a certain culture, especially from a BAME background, I think those definitely play a part in the challenges and the obstacles that are put in front of you when you do identify as LGBT.
Amy has been exceptionally lucky, but the most important thing is to just keep supporting your child.
Aisha Khan has been out 4 years, but I've not come out to my family as Aisha Khan. I don't think I'd ever want to come out as Aisha Khan to my family, because coming out as gay is, I think it's difficult for them to accept it, but they have accepted it. But Aisha Khan, I don't think they will ever accept me as Aisha Khan. This is why I live 2 lives.
And I think that's the reason why LGBT people are much more likely to be, to use drugs and alcohol to escape the hardships of actually being themselves. So we're highly likely and in high proportion to be victims of substance misuse.
The thing that I've always been lucky, I think, in my life, that my religion's always helped me, and I've always prayed and turned to Allah, my God, and that's what's really got me through. And it was just researching on my religion and how lenient, there's a lot of leeway on a lot of things, and how, you know, things are not as black and white as people make out in religion. When you go into it, you research, you realise, and that's what helped me really.
I think it's very good to have these kinds of organisations like Lifeline today, Equity Partnership, MESMAC. People know that there is something there to go to. I run the BME men's group, and I have nearly 60 members who come through that door every month.
Each parent's different, and some parents it takes them a long time to get used to the idea. Some parents, like me, it just evolved naturally. We've never really thought about Amy as a boy. She's always been a girl to me.
I'm delighted that Lifeline have actually had this LGBT History Month event in Bradford for the first time, because I think it's a landmark opportunity for you know, cities like Bradford who may not have, you know, great LGBT visibility or representation out there to actually help each other to support the LGBT community in Bradford. I mean, today's event is remarkable. We've had people from all sorts of racial backgrounds, ages, men, women, trans people. So it really highlights the need that Bradford has, you know, and wants to support its LGBT members. And I think in years to come, it would be great to see Bradford's LGBT community's profile raised to be the equivalent of Birmingham or Manchester. I definitely think, you know, the north of England, there's a lot of work here to be done in terms of supporting LGBT people.
वजूद मेरा